Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. How are we all doing on this Thursday morning? Seems I did not start on time. This is Reganelite here. Hello, everyone. How you guys all doing? Hope you're all doing well. It is Thursday, the 2nd of October. It is my favourite wrestler's birthday as well, so I'm going to be working on a few bits for her today because it is her birthday. So I've got that to deal with as well. So wrestling stuff to deal with as well, guys. I've got to do today. But in terms of news and politics, we have two great shows. We have this one here today. We'll be looking at some of the news. And tonight, myself and Witchy Goth are coming together for a show. Do join us for that. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm so excited to talk to her about all sorts of things. Please join us for that if you can. It'd be greatly appreciated. Go and look at today's daily quota. For today, we're going to be looking at the weather, see what the weather's been like. We're going to have a look at the UK news specifically, but I'm going to see if I can find the latest update on the Gaza flotilla and see what has happened since last night, since we were talking about it as well, guys. We are going to look and find out, see what we can gather from then, guys. So, Von Eric, good to see you there. Hope you are doing well. Alison Keir, good to see you, one of our moderators. Indy Duck is there as well, always cracking away. Good to see you there. Stephen Banker as well. Good to see you, buddy. Hope you're doing well. And One Angry Pagan, one of our moderators as well. Good to see you there. Guys, make sure you check out One Angry Pagan's YouTube channel as well, which Alison has provided a link below. Martin Howard, good to see you there as well. Good to see you. Scott Hayes, good to see you there. Hope you are doing well. Janet, good to see you there. Hope you are doing well. Kirsty as well. Good to see you all. Hope you are doing well. And I think I caught everyone there. Yes, I think I did catch everyone there. Yes, very, very good. Right, so here is today's daily quota. I'm sure someone knows who my favourite wrestler's name is in the chat. Someone will probably mention it. I'm not going to say it. I'm going to let you guys figure it out. So here is today's daily quota. Here it is from Jim there. So this is today's one here for 2nd of October from Jim Morrison here. And which quotes as saying, "A friend is someone who gives you total freedom to be yourself." A friend is someone who gives you total freedom to be yourself. That is very true. A real true friend allows you to be who exactly you want to be. That could not be more truer there. Ooh, very interesting one for tomorrow. Interesting one for Friday. Guess we'll have to see what that one is tomorrow, guys. There. We'll have to see indeed. Right, let's have a look and see what's going on with the weather here, guys. And see what's happening here. So this is currently today here. Oh, wait, what was that tag on? Did you say favorite wrestler? My surname Von Erich is a tribute to Kerry Von Erich, and also I'm an amputee. Kerry Von Erich. Are you familiar with quite of the Von Erichs within the wrestling industry as well? Well, great wrestlers they are as well. Great wrestlers. But that's not my favorite wrestler there. So, but it's really not hard to look it up, guys. It really isn't on my socials. Thank you so much, Alison Keir, for the £2 super chat just to get things going. For the Penguins, yes, we must do it for the Democratic Penguins Republic. Remember, they're still under siege by the evil Trump administration, so we do must look after them as well there. So yes, indeed. Right, so here is the weather, guys. This is today's weather report. I'm sure some of you guys may have experienced it up north, some of the weather there already, and you can see that this weather pattern is coming over here. Ellie, good to see you there. Hope you are doing well. So you can see overnight there, you can see that weather, that rain is really trying to come in there. Let me just put on the wind patterns as well there, just for the UK there. We can see 16, 14, 15, 13 degrees temperatures are there. I'm not planning to do a big walk today. I'm gonna pop to the shops at least, because I do have some other bits I want to get done today, and also want to try and get prepared for tonight's live stream with Witchy Goth. I'm really excited for it, guys. I really am. I always love talking to new people, so I'm generally excited for it. I really am. So yeah, its weather is here. It's obviously going to be problematic. If we just have a quick look over in the west of Europe, guys, My missus has been bugging me to book a holiday because we've got a week off together next week, and I still haven't booked anything. So you can. So please feel free in the chat to tell me off for saying I'm a terrible boyfriend because I should have booked something yet. So please do tell me off in the chat. Madrid, Lisbon, 24, 25 degrees. Rome, 15, and Nice, 19. There, Athens, 21. You can see there's a big rainstorm down in so Greece, Bulgaria, and the Balkans areas there. Budapest 8, Zagreb 9, Bern 9, Prague 9, Paris 15 there. So some pretty chilly temperatures there. Oh, Kirsty, thank you so much for the 199 super chat. The weather is coming. It is coming indeed. It is coming indeed. Thank you so much for the 199. Thank you so much for that super chat. Do take care of yourself as well, and everyone in the chat, by the way, as well. And I just realised while I'm talking about all these things, Alison Keir gave 5 gifted memberships there. I only just literally caught it off my eye. Thank you so much. He's given 5 gifted memberships to Lim, Gary, Furbarbo, Roger Devine, and Tim Ballon have all been gifted memberships there, which means they get early access to additional content as well. So thank you so much, my friend, for the gifted memberships. Very generous of you. We in Devon are due to get some today there. Yeah, it looks like you might be due to get some today here. It's actually, if I scroll back a little bit, it doesn't look like that storm is going to hit Devon, but you can see maybe on the coast there. Perhaps overnight it may do. There you go. See, yeah, later on in the evening you'll be experiencing it there. But overnight there, as we go over into the next overnight, guys, we can see that the weather does come through. But yeah, so there was going to be some big storms dropping overnight in some parts of England and Wales there as well. By Friday morning, most of it would have cleared up, but there will be still some parts of rain there. But you can see there's a big storm coming, as we can literally see on Friday here. Temperatures aren't too much of a problem. Winds, you can see, is getting very high, but you can see this storm here Friday, tomorrow, guys. You can see it quite clearly there. Please, please, please take cautions. It's pretty much going to hit. Yeah, it's going to be hit pretty much during the afternoon. Pretty much, yeah. So pretty much all from Friday, pretty much from Friday lunchtime onwards is when you're going to start feeling it. Yeah, this weather, this storm, guys. Please, please, please be careful, especially for my friends up in Scotland. I know you guys and girls are probably used to it, but just take all necessary precautions that you need to, as always, there. And again, Wales is going to experience it. England's going to experience it. Pretty much everyone in the UK is going to experience it. It's going to be coming in overnight into Saturday. Yeah, even in Saturday there, you can see, oh my blimey God. You can see this storm is not going away, even overnight on Saturday there. Yeah, it's going to be quite problematic. That is for sure on a Saturday as well. There, so we just do take all the necessary precautions that you need to there. And then on Sunday, there'll be some showers, but most of Sunday will be a bit more of a recovery from it. So yes, Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday should be a bit calmer there. Just a quick look on Monday. Monday we're experiencing some weather patterns as well. Temperatures 18 degrees still for October there. So there will be some rain patterns on Monday there for next week as well, guys. So those are some of the stories there. So before we dive into UK news, I generally want to have a look and see what's happening with the flotilla, guys. So one of the most reliable sources I would go to is Al Jazeera. So we're going to go straight to them, guys, and let's see what they are saying here on their live feed here. So you got live updates. Act of piracy. Israeli commandos intercept Gaza flotilla. Dozens have been detained. So let's have a look at the live feed here. 9 minutes ago, Israel intercepted Gaza flotilla, a grave offence, says South Africa. Yep. Israel's regime must be stopped immediately, says Malaysia's MP. Photos, Israeli warships arrive at port after flotilla raids. In Navy vessel approaches Assos after Gaza flotilla boats were captured on Thursday. The Gaza A flotilla breaks years-long naval blockade. 2 dozen boats have been seized by Israel. A total of 30 Turkish citizens taken by Israel forces as probe is launched. The Islamabad chief prosecutor office opened investigation after Israeli naval commandos arrested Turkish citizens on the board of the Gaza A flotilla. The probe concerns Turkish citizens arrested following the attacks carried out by the elements of the Israeli Navy in international wars against the global summit flotilla, statement said. Cited UN Convention, yep, once again, they broke international law, which we expected them to do. Turkey denounced the act of terrorism by Israel. The flotilla international waters will not compromise efforts to achieve a ceasefire in Gaza. Death toll in Gaza rise to 17 this morning, at least 66,000. Israel has no authority or sovereignty over Palestinian waters, says the Palestinian Foreign Minister. He condemned the attacks there, of course. UK decries atrocious humanitarian crisis in Gaza as the flotilla is raided. The British government very concerned. That's their language, guys. Very concerned. They're very concerned, guys. We are very concerned about the situation. We're in touch with a number of British nationals involved in the statement. But they're concerned, guys. Don't worry. The British government says they're very concerned. Obviously, they don't want to upset their Israeli masters. So the British government have said they're very concerned. Respect international law, Australia says. Spain summons Israel's envoy. They should kick him out. That's what they should do. Israel's violations to be sent to the ICJ as onboard lawyers record seizures. Detained Gaza activists expected to arrive in Ashkelon in port in 2 hours. This is 2 hours ago, so they should be arriving from the pictures we saw. Act of terror. Turkey blasts Israel seizure there. Brazil slams Israel's interception. Flotilla detained makes its way to Israel peacefully. Israel's foreign minister says Gaza activists detained from the flotilla are safe and in good health after Navy commanders seen them at sea. Deportation procedures to Europe and those detained will now begin, it said. Their crime was to carry aid for hapless Palestinian peoples, says Pakistan. Yep, lots of condemnation. I know that Italy went into massive raids. There were massive protests in Italy, in many parts of Italy, and a couple of other nations had massive protests as well, as far as I'm aware, from what I read this morning. So what we know, Israeli forces boarded and seized control several ships that are part of the global summit flotilla, which attempted to break Israel's blockage of Gaza. The flotilla of more than 40 civilian boats and 500 activists was intercepted by Israeli forces late on Wednesday. Gaza support was on board, detained and taken to Israel. Israel's blocked Gaza voyages various degrees to control the script. There's an update we'll come to in just a moment. What is this? What's the latest update then? Is it just more condemnation? 17 seconds ago, only 4 boats still sailing to Gaza, according to the flotilla tracker. The global premier tracker has changed its status to nearly all vessels assumed intercepted. Those remaining still believed to be sailing, including 4 vessels. Making the first boat is the first boat to make it into Palestinian waters. The Maritime are also still sailing. Let's have a look of the. Let's just have a quick check, guys, before we get. I just want to see if the live stream is still up. Where is the channel? Give me the channel. Where can someone find me a link to their YouTube channel? No, I don't want a news channel. I want a link to them. YouTube are not giving me the link to it. Yep, that's different live streams. It's not coming up here. Alison, can you find the Gaza Flotilla channel and send me the link in the live chat, please, so I can have a look. If you can find it for me, it'd be greatly appreciated. Or if anyone else, any other moderators can find it. I want specifically the Gaza Flotilla one, not one for other media outlets. If you can help it, guys. Can't seem to find it there. Just while I'll just give guys a chance to see if they can find it. See what you guys are saying. Yep, expel the Israeli ambassador. I would love the British to expel the Israeli ambassador, but that won't happen. This is such a British thing to say. I shouldn't lol because it's actually so serious. It is so serious, but they have to use language that they don't want to upset the Israeli masters. Unfortunately, I got a fibber when the storm hits. Good thing they don't search. I can't hide a flask or two, says Indie Duck. They're jamming radio too. Yes, they have been jamming radio, but I don't know if their live stream is still up. That's the only thing. International norms are broken since when Pagan. Yeah. Well, they've been breaking them before. They were using water cannons. Yeah, you mentioned that last night as well, didn't you, my friend? There, that they were using water cannons there. That is for sure. Okay, while we see if we can find any if any footage can be found, let's turn to UK politics here, guys, because we are only an hour, so we're only on for an hour, so we want to make the most of the time here while we can. Utter nonsense to say PM he tried to incite violence against Farage, minister says. Migration Minister Tony Cap accuses Reform UK's head of policy of snowflakery. Yeah, bunch of snowflakes they are. What a bunch of snowflakes. Blackburn MP's baby was targeted of deprived online abuse hours after being born. Yeah, this is the kind of stuff that Reform UK are backing. Independent Adine Hassan says racist and sexist posts expose Dar's abyss of hatred and despair in the UK of being left to grow unchecked. Newborn daughter of a British MP was the target of utterly deprived and sexist abuse hours after her birth, her father has told The Guardian. 1 second, guys. Let me have a look. What's this link? Thanks. Is this it? Oh, okay. So it's not live anymore. No, that's Retro's. That's Retro's. What I wanted is from the actual YouTube channel. From their actual YouTube channel, because I remember typing it in and it came up and it didn't. There, that's from Retro's Pagan. But thank you anyway. I appreciate it. Appreciate the link. The independent MP who won his Blackburn seat in 2024, running on a pro-Gaza stance, says he and his newborn were subject to vile abuse after he posted a pixelated picture of her on X. He became a father for the first time in recent birth of his daughter. Said he wanted to speak out about the abuse which they had been subject to, highlight a very dark abyss of hatred and despair, which he said was becoming increasingly common in the UK and required a force just as strong to combat it. Day by day, the atmosphere around us is darkening, that be online or out on the streets and maybe even workplaces, he said, pointing to recent stories of people being harassed and attacked on racial grounds, including a rape in the West Midlands, that police are being treated as racially motivated. Quote, the hatred in those positions of leadership and power are allowing Festa to go unchecked is having very real, very dangerous real-world consequences. Hudson, part of Jeremy Corbyn's aligned independent alliance of MPs, said he had posted the picture of his newborn on the platform after taking steps to protect his identity out of sheer excitement and happiness at becoming a father for the first time. Only wanted to share in happiness with writers, with wider associates and his constituents on Facebook. The post received only messages of on Facebook. The post received messages of support and goodwill, including many messages from people with opposite political views. Yeah, but posting it on Twitter, unfortunately, is not ideal. I'll have a look at that link in a minute. Thank you, Alison Keir. On X, there were many messages of support, but then racist and Islamophobic comments began to multiply, Hassan said. Yeah, this is terrible. Like, he's had a newborn baby and he's sharing it with the world, and I'm generally mean this. Congratulations to him. I'm really, really happy for him. You know, it's a very, very special moment for him, and it's being tainted by people who just want to spew hatred, and instead of, you know, congratulating him on becoming a dad, or I don't know if he's his second child or not, but still, like, it's a very special occasion for him, and he's being treated like that. It's just absolutely disgusting. What is this? Switch to 66 handstone flags for use along the Mall at the Windsor Castle cost an estimated £52,000 in public funds. Stars and Stripes flags for Trump's UK visit had to be changed for brighter red. Are you fucking kidding me? Dozens of US flags used for Donald Trump's unprecedented second state visit to the UK last month had to be replaced because the stripes were the wrong shade of red, a government supplier has claimed. Oh my God, the switch of the 66 handstone flag had been due to be used along with the Mall in London and at Windsor Castle cost an estimated £52,000. Nick Varey, the managing director of the flag consultancy, which the government contracts for all big ceremonial events, said the US embassy objected to the 800 flags earmarked for the visit. Speaking to the Telegraph, he said the Americans decided that the red we use, which is called R01, wasn't right for them, and they wanted a cherry red instead. So we had to buy all new flags for the visit. Oh my God. He said that the switch meant the stars and stripes featured a brighter shade of red than the Union Jacks flown alongside them. Yeah, red is now stronger than the red on the Union flag file. He said, before a state visit, we had to provide samples to go to the embassy in London to get signed off. Countries find it insulting if we get our colours wrong. Yeah, that is true. Yeah, they do find it insulting if it's wrong. The US Embassy has not commented. Yeah, do you know what? It should come out of it should come out of their budget. Personally, it should come out of their budget. The US Embassy. Yeah, the US should pay for that for that bloody change, just because it's not the red that they wanted. I mean, it's just like, are you kidding me? China's fifth ranking official was suspect in the dropped Westminster spy case. Person who thought to have received intelligence is understood to be Cao Qi, de facto chief of staff to Xi Jinping. British prosecutors suspected that the China's fifth most senior official was in receipt of intelligence from Westminster in a controversial and now abandoned espionage case, The Guardian understands. The CPS said in April 2024 that a senior member of the Chinese Communist Party and Politico member had received politically sensitive information from two researchers who were charged with spying for Israel. Person is understood to be Cao Qi, a member of the Standing Committee of the CCP Political Bureau. The committee is the ruling body of the CCP and is headed by Xi Jinping, China's all-powerful leader. No, don't worry about it. I started late anyway, Peter. So started a few minutes late anyway. So thank you for the £5 super chat. I have some Scottish money. It's legal tenure. It is legal tenure, Scottish money here in England. The problem is that if you give a Scottish note, I'm not joking. Retailers are very fickle about taking Scottish money in England, believe it or not, especially here in London. They're very fickle about it. You know, they are legally required to take it because it's legal tender, but they're very fickle about it. Don't ever if you ever come to London, don't bring a Scottish £50 note, because everyone will reject it because they'll say it's fake. Even though your note is probably real. Because we get a lot of fake Scottish notes down here, which is the problem. But thank you for that £5 super chat. Pettiness from the US, what a shock. Yeah, I know. Thank you, Aliston, for the £2 super chat to hit the what, Aliston? The goal. All hail the DPR. All hail the DPR. Thank you so much for that £2 super chat. Thanks everyone. Yeah. Pingu says thank you guys so much. Thank you all. Much appreciate it. Pingu wanted to show his appreciation. I've got to remember to do that more often whenever they hit the goal, guys. But I never minded taking it, but because customers hate being given it in change. Yeah, what you do, because what I learned in retail is that if you do take Scottish notes in, right, I never give it back out. I make sure it gets banked. We make sure it goes into the safe and it gets banked, and basically eventually gets sent to the bank here, you know, because when they come and collect the money from the retailers, because I work in retail, I always made sure that the Scottish any Scottish notes or Northern Irish notes, they were always taken out of the tills when I worked in retail, because it's just not worth the hassle for the cashiers. You know, it's better. It's not worth the hassle for them. Just send them to the bank. Let it be the bank's problem. Basically, that's the best thing to do. Just not worth the hassle, is what I'll say on that. Kemi, who? Oh yeah, the Conservative Party, or shall we call them the forgotten ones? The forgotten ones. Kemi Bagnot's vowed to repeal the Climate Change Act. Yeah. How much are the oil companies paying you? Tory leaders should replace it with cheap energy strategy, ending decade-long consensus on climate. She's vowed to repeal the Climate Change Act if the Conservatives win the next general election, which you're not. Doing away with controls on greenhouse gas emissions, dismantling what has been the cornerstone of green energy policy for successive governments. The Conservative Party leader was already committed to scrapping the UK's net zero target, but repeal the Climate Change Act will go much further. It will remove the need to meet carbon budget ceilings set for 5-year periods on the amount of greenhouse gas emissions can be emitted, and disband the climate change commitment. The watchdog now advises on how policies affect the UK's carbon footprint. Under my leadership, we will scrap those failed targets. Our priority is growth, cheaper energy, and producing the natural landscape we all love. Well, you're not going to provide any of that stuff. Wow, they are really gone. The Conservatives, they really have gone. So their appeal to voters is we're anti-climate, while we're better than the Tories, which is not gonna work. Metropolitan Police plunged into crisis amid fresh claims of misogyny and racism. Said preachers has put down deep roots within force after BBC Panorama investigation. BBC Panorama uncovered reporters spent 7 months as a designated detention officer in the custody state of Charing Cross Station in central London. Metropolitan Police officers have been recorded calling for immigrants to be shot, bragged about excessive forces, being dismissive about a rape complaint, and making anti-Muslim, anti-women comments. The BBC Panorama programme follows 7 months of undercover filming at Charing Cross Police Station. The Metropolitan Police Commissioner, Sir Mark Rowley, reacted by admitting that his forces had a toxic legacy of prejudge and had put down deep roots as footage of officers aired on national television. Captured on tape was an officer appearing to dismiss a complaint by a woman allegedly rape that a man had stamped on her stomach while pregnant, and then releasing the suspect on bail. Other officers dismissed Muslims and immigrants as scum, with one that talking about using extreme violence against them. He said, "I think any foreign person is the worst to deal with." Later, he said of an alleged overstayers, either put a bullet through his head or deport them. All these officers should be fired on the spot. They should all be fired. One sergeant made repeated sexualized remarks, including about masturbation, and other officers caught on tape talking about stumping on suspects, injuring those who do not comply, and elbowing a suspect in the leg restraints repeatedly in the face. Officers were also recorded discussing falsifying a statement after forces was used and avoiding making admissions in front of police cameras in their station meant to deter and detect wrongdoing. All these officers, all of them should be fired, every single one of them, but he's not going to do that. He's not going to do that. They should all be fired. At the highest levels of the Met as well as City Hall and national government, there is fear, if not expectation, that the revelations will damage confidence in the force. It already has. Cast doubt on the claims, and it is reforming radically enough after years of scandal damning report. In the side tensions, officers booed and jeered Met Deputy Commissioner Matt Jukes at the National Black Police Association conference when he refused to accept that Britain's biggest force was institutionally racist. Report in 2023 by Lewis Casey, commissioned by the Met after the murder of Sarah Everard, serving officer found to be institutionally racist, misogynist, and prejudge. Rowley immediately rejected those terms, saying that he accepted a report of the findings of wholesale failing and toxicity. London Mayor Sadiq Khan said he would announce the much delayed follow-up inquiry into the Met that Lucy Casey wanted, checking how much the Met has changed. Dukes was scrambled to attend the conference of black officers on Wednesday as the Met was plunged into crisis by the alleged actions of its own officers, telling an audience the behaviours were a matter of profound shame and regret. No, it's not shame and regret. They know exactly what they said behind closed when the cameras aren't on them. Gang-finished behaviours, some officers covering up for wrongdoing, coercing others to do so. Rowley said they were appalling in criminal behaviour, apologised and vowed to investigate. Yeah, sure you are. Sure, you're going to investigate. Sure, you're going to take action. The behaviours required of this programme is unacceptable. Officers behaving in such appalling criminal way let down our communities. When evidence of racism, misogyny, anti-Muslim, and bragging about excessive use of force, those responsible were put on the task. Fast-track hearing within weeks. All these officers need to be sacked. If you're serious about this, which you're not, he's not serious about this, by the way. If he is serious about any of this, Mark Rowley, you would do your investigation and you would sack them all. You would sack them all and basically make the position very clear that this is not acceptable. It would send a very powerful message to the rest of the police force if you did it. But he's not going to do that because he has to be seen, because he has to protect officers as well from crap. Now, there are good police officers out there. I do have to stress that. But when you get stories like this, it smears all police officers. They should all be fired because their views are not aligned with communities, with the British public. They are not people that you would. Are these the same officers? I bet these are some of these officers who gladly took pleasure in picking up and moving people in Palestine action as well. I've not seen the BBC Panorama report personally, but they should all be fired, all of them. Starmer to end asylum golden ticket of resettlement and family reunion rights. Of course, they would put a giant union flag in the background there, but that's on the plane, of course. Let's have a quick look at the front of UK. Manchester synagogue attack latest. Suspect shot after 4 people injured in a vehicle and stabbing attack outside a synagogue, police say. Greater Manchester Police says suspect been shot and 4 people had suffered injuries. This is 43 minutes ago. Caused by a injury and staggering at a synagogue in Cheltenham, north of the city. 9:31 a.m. by members of the public stating he'd been witnessed a car being driven towards a member park and 1 man had been stabbed. Shots were fired from Greater Manchester Police firearms. 1 man had been shot, believed to be a offender. Paramedics arrived at the scene. Members of the public asked to avoid the area while police continued to deal with the incident. Bomb disposal unit at the scene understood that hospitals in the area have been heightened security measures. Jesus. Attacker to believed to be dead, but it said it's not confirmed, apparently, from Andy Burdham. Starmer to return home from Denmark and says he is appalled by the attack. Attack being treated as a potential terrorist incident, sources say. Police say the suspect shot after 4 people suffered injuries caused by a car and stabbings. Andy Burdham says people should avoid the area. Tesco's predict price fall before Christmas amid pressure on household budgets. Yep. Thames will lenders submit new rescue plans to stave off collapse. UK considers stamp duty exemption for newly listed company shares. Met chief said he will not resign. No, of course he won't. Of course he won't resign. 4 stab attacks. Yeah, 4 stab attacks. Terrible, terrible. My deepest condolences, of course. I hate hearing stories like that, but yeah, it's terrible. Baroness Morone should resign from the Lords and ordered to pay back 122 after ordering to pay back £122 over COVID PPE. Max did a video on this. I'm very happy to hear about this story. That's Max Robespierre, for those who don't know his YouTube channel. Shadow Energy Secretary Claire Coutinho said the former Tory peer do the honourable thing and resign after PPE MedPro was ordered to pay back the government's close to £122 million. Yep, you should. You should pay it back. You should pay it all back. And you should rescind your lordship as well. Yeah, you should resign from the House of Lords. Do the honourable thing and resign as member of the House of Lords. Tory peer, she currently have the whip. Baroness was a Tory peer, although she currently has the whip suspended, meaning she isn't a member of the official grouping in the chamber. We've taken away the Conservative whip. She's no longer a Conservative peer. I think the honourable thing to do, particularly in light of this, would be to resign. Removing the peerage from someone requires an act of parliament, although members of the House of Lords can be permanently excluded by a vote in the upper chamber if an investigation finds to have committed wrongdoing. Currently, the parliamentary investigation of Baroness Ramones are paused while other inquiries, including the National Crime Agency, plays out. Okay. So there's still other investigations taking place at the moment. Emphasised that she was the last Conservative government started lawsuits against PP and MedPro. Systemic procurement, saying it's an incredibly frantic government. She said the public was rightly disgusted by some of the outcomes, including people who didn't live up to their promise and pocket huge amounts of money. Yeah, that's our bloody money she's hoarding. Our taxpayer money she's bloody hoarding. And she'd be giving it all back plus interest. She should be giving it all back plus interest. Did anyone tell me off for not booking a holiday for my partner, just out of curiosity? I didn't see. The race was put on a little box thing before someone wanted cash back. The Badger clan backs the Penguin March. That's very good. Badgers are always welcome on the Democratic Penguins Republic territory. Just for reference there. Seen a lot of quack quack. That's trip there. Our pagans provide a link to the of he was covering the KCMET report there, and he's got part 2 there, so you can check out on his YouTube channel after the live stream if you guys want to have a look at that. Fucking court found her liable. What more needs to be said, says Martin. Exactly. Business and green groups alarmed by Tories plan to scrap key pollution rules. I hope they lose. I hope they lose so many MPs that they've become a forgotten thing. Starmer says NATO nations must keep pressure on Putin. That's the incident, of course. Another calls for a brainwashed daughter living with cult in Scotland would to be deported back to Texas. African tribe members evicted after raid on group camps in Scottish woods. Conor Gregor's reports claims that Clara Taylor, 21, from Texas, was lured in Cahos into moving into forest 4,000 miles away from home. Members of the self-styled African tribe have been evicted from a Scottish forest. The group have named themselves the Kingdom of Cuba, have been living in the woods in the Jedburgh near the border of England since May. After they were served an eviction notice in August as they were on private land, the trio last month moved their campsite over a fence to neighbouring plot of land owned by Scottish Borough Council. Shirek Shelby Court on Wednesday ruled that the trio would not be able to return to the original plot of land they were evicted from. Council of Deputies said that police officers and other agencies went on camp Thursday evicted the trio. So the group obviously arrived in Jedburgh a number of months ago and they set up camp here. They were originally on the Scottish Border Council land. They set up camp and claimed they were the Kingdom of Kabbalah, and this is quite frankly was ludicrous. They broke laws, they broke the rules, and the landowners we took action as well as private landlords to ensure outcome today. What the hell were they doing? It's very odd. Very, very odd. People in the UK have less disposable income and their figures show it. That's money analysis there. That is true. Furious Ryanair's boss warns 100,000 passengers could have flights cancelled next week, apparently. So that means if I do book a holiday, don't do it with Ryanair, is what they're saying there. Okay, thanks for letting me know. That's very important information for me. BBC, let's see what they're saying. Refugees to face longer routes to UK settlement rights. 2-child benefit cap has been devastating, says Phillipson. Well, it better be scrapped at the budget. You guys have been holding off that for too bloody long. Absolutely, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous that it wasn't scrapped at the start. Absolutely ridiculous. I was mad that they didn't even do it at the first budget. Donors covering Farage's security after cuts reform claims. PM tells BBC he wants to change how international law is used in asylum cases. Khan's appalled by the Met officer's behaviour as mother seeks footage. Calls footage sickening. Labour deputy debate exposes differences in approaches. Really not too fussed about the deputy leadership. I really am not personally. Storm Amy upgraded to amber warning. Oh, it's Amy who's been causing a mess, guys. It's Amy who's been causing a mess, yeah, when it comes to the wind and rain, guys. So use the hashtag blame Amy. Hackers said they have deleted children's pictures and data after nursery attack backlash. Hackers who attempted to extort a nursery train by posting stolen images and data about children on the darknet have removed the posts and claimed to have deleted the information. The criminals been posting profiles of the children to their website last Thursday, and another 10 children days later, vowing to continue until kiddos would pay the ransom in Bitcoin. Criminals also contacted parents directly, threatening phone calls whilst trying to get their ransom paid. The attack appears to have forced the criminals to backtrack. First, they blurred the images to keep the data up. Now they've taken all the information offline and apologised for their actions. Their apparent change of heart has been met with scepticism by experts who have previously condemned the target of nurseries as a new low for cyber criminals. Yeah, this is even more pragmatic than mortality. These cybersecurity experts said these criminals are clearly shocked and worried by the attention that their hackers cause, and they're trying to protect themselves or their brand. Why would you go after a nursery? The hackers claim to delete everything they took, which include private details and pictures of around 8,000 children as well as contact information. Why would you do this? Oh my god. All child's data has now been deleted. No more remains can be confirmed. One of the cyber crimes involved told the BBC. Anderson Kiddo have not paid the hackers a ransom, which is thought to be around 600,000. Past cases have shown that hackers have often said they have deleted stolen data and have been found to have kept it and sold it on. Took down the cybercrime gang Lockbit when they took troves of data still on stars. I'm just going to put this out there. I don't know, like, I'll need to talk. My partner works in nursery, so I'm going to have to ask her about this, right? But why do you have Why do you have this information? I just feel like this information shouldn't be anywhere near the internet in nurseries. It should be like, it shouldn't be on data that can be accessed via internet. Maybe it's just me. I just feel like that's way too dangerous. I mean, I know it's disgusting, but I just feel like we're talking about children's information here, pictures and whatnot. They're just, yeah, really just makes me uncomfortable. Inquiry into why man was given cancer treatment for 16 years. Tesco warns enough is enough on business taxes. The African tribe who camped in Scottish woodlands has been evicted. Relief and new baby for asylum family of child suffocated in Channel Crossing. Relief and new baby for asylum family of child suffocated in Channel Crossing. So the baby survived, I'm assuming. It says suffocated in Channel Crossing. Bit of an odd picture to use for it. Those are old other stories. Those are really old stories, those ones there. Just a reminder, got about 20 minutes left here. Right, back to painting. No worries, Billy. Thanks for popping in. We should start naming storms Alfred and Eloaf or something instead. Some of the names they give to storms is really crap. They really aren't very good. They're really not creative enough with some of the names, you know. You know, Storm Karen. I think there was a Storm Karen. I think they had one. They called it Storm Karen, and it's just like, oh, Karen, as always. I feel sorry for people named Karen because it's become a thing now. This is the Independent, just for reference. Minister with cancer warns none of us know what's around the corner. Senior Tories call for Baroness Manon to resign over PPE scandal. Keir Starmer in the new asylum crackdown as he takes on Farage's boats. Yep, keep calling them Farage's boats. Burnham would be blocked from running from Parliament, claims Minister. Yeah, this is exactly what I said. He would be blocked, yeah, from running if he did. Andy Burnham would be blocked by Starmer from running for Parliament, claims a Minister. So Keir Starmer and his Chief of Staff, Morgan McSweeney, would block Andy Burnham from getting on the shortlist for potential candidates for a parliamentary seat, scuppering any potential leadership challenge the senior minister has claimed. The Greater Manchester Mayor has been accused of privately by allies overplaying his hands. Yep. Despite a YouGov poll. Who's actually saying this? Yeah, we need to become an MP. The ministers who now Mr. Byrne told the Independent Keir and Morgan wouldn't even let him get on the shortlist to be a candidate. They would block him. There's no way he's getting in. And no way he's getting into Parliament, but Manchester Mayor's manoeuvres have exposed discontent among senior figures in the government over whether Keir and he's in the circle, including McSweeney, are the right people to beat reform. Yeah. The problem is that we're being run by technocrats when we need warriors, one minister noted. That's a good way of describing it. Forget Burnham, these are the people who could actually be the next Prime Minister. So what are the names you guys have got then? West Streeting. Ed Miliband's not going to take it. West Streeting's definitely one of them. Shamima Mahmood, I'm not sure about her. Oh God, not him. Definitely not him. I don't know how she can get back in after resigning. And that's about it. So a couple of names they've thrown out there, potentials there. And there's obviously the deputy Labour leadership race as well. Lucifer Power warns Starmer against trying to outreform reform. That is true. Reform claims Nigel Farage's taxpayer-funded security has been slashed. What? Farage's right-hand man accuses Labour of running a campaign of demonstration against the UK reform leader. Nigel Farage has had his taxpayer-funded security slashed, according to Reform UK, forcing party donors to step in. What? Isn't it a bit odd? Yeah, the timing that he's saying. The timing of this thing is very, very suspicious. What do you guys think? Head of policy said the Parliamentary Security Department has cut the ex-UKIP leader's protection by 3/4 in the last 2 weeks for inexplicable reasons. This is bollocks. I bet this is bullshit. The row erupted just hours after Mr. France claims it's been racist. 2 weeks ago, the authorities cut Nigel Farage's security by 75%. And we've seen the most extraordinary 40 hours demonisation. I'm going to say it again. Incitement of violence. These are those that step up there. He said that the claim I'm making is exactly as it happened, which is that the Parliamentary Security Department, that is responsible for security in both houses and frankly what called for inexplicit reasons, have decided to materially downgrade Nigel Farage's security. Those are the facts of the matter. Has there been a response from the government? What do I do to get being MP? The ability of members and staff to perform their parliamentary duty safely in both on and off the state is fundamental to our democracy. Any assessment of individual LP security arrangements or advice is subject to rigorous risk-based assessments conducted by security professionals. Input. Well, while these naturally are kept under continuous review, we do not comment on specific DNA as compromise safety of MPs, parliamentary staff, or members of the public. Yeah, it just sounds like to me the timing of this is bollocks. Am I allowed the public to flow through the doors with their knives in their pockets? He keeps accusing. He's accused like you. This is. He has said this on multiple occasions, right? On multiple occasions, he's accused constituents of having knives in their pockets in Clacton. Multiple occasions. This needs to be highlighted to these constituents. How does it feel that your MP continuously doesn't want to get in a room with you to talk about your issues because you might have a knife in your pocket? He keeps making that assumption every single time. Ridiculous. Keeps making that bloody assumption all the time. British tourist faces the death penalty for drug smuggling in Thailand. Police allege George Wilson, 23, received suitcases containing narcotics from another Briton to deliver it abroad. Why did you do it? 23 years old, my God. Was arrested in Bangkok after Thai police allegedly found more than 9 grams of crystal meth. Police allege Mr. Wilson handled the suitcase, though, narcotics, and instructed him to take it through to a contact abroad. Drugs concrete in 10 foil bags labelled Chinese tea and hidden under flip-flops and white towels found. Footage of the arrest showed Mr. Wilson denying any knowledge of the suitcase contents, insisting, I don't know what it is. Who acted as translator during the arrest said the suspect confirmed that the items was his. Child explained to him along with his rights he was handcuffed, taken into custody for legal proceedings. Can we do something to stop him getting executed? Is there anything we can do here? Now drugs was very, very large. Authorities suspect the meth was made in Myanmar, neighbouring country, before being transported to Thailand. The regional suburb hub for narcotics. Carrying that amount carries the death penalty in Thailand, although life imprisonment is more commonly imposed. However, mitigating circumstances may reduce the sentence to 10-20 years. The UK Foreign Office said it was in contact with the Thai authorities following the arrest of the British man. I don't want him facing the death penalty. He's been in Thailand 2 weeks. He was in Thailand for 2 weeks before his arrest. 10-20 years sounds more. I hope that's what his charge is. 10-20 years sounds there, but obviously I don't know this guy's situation and why he did what he did. But my God. So hopefully he doesn't face the death penalty. I don't want him facing life imprisonment either. I mean, it's incredibly stupid of him to do it. I just hope he faces 10-20 years and then comes back to the UK. You know. I don't have sympathy. The only sympathy I have for him is because he's a young man. He's only 23, guys. He's completely going to use. He's going to be spending a lot of that time either going to be in prison or he's going to lose his life. It's really sad. HMRC urges 788,000 to check if they have unclaimed child trust funds. Met Office issue. Storm Amy approaches. Man who chopped finger off Saw. He bought online sues Amazon. Oh, how are you going to get... good luck with that one, mate. Good luck with trying to sue Amazon. They're not going to take ownership and responsibility. They're going to put the blame on the if they win the case. It's going to be on the people behind the product, not the company itself. Then again, it's good to see you, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Let's have a look at the iPaper. Got about 10 minutes left, just for reference. Reminder: I'll be going live later on today at 8 o'clock. Angela Rayner remains a Labour megastar. Here's why she should be back soon. She is very popular among the members, that's for sure. May not be physically present in Liverpool. She still managed to cast a shadow. Yeah, she wasn't there at the conference at all. She wasn't there at the conference at all. Farage and Reform are not racist, says PM. How Blair and his right-hand man built a Middle East plan for Trump to take credit. Yeah, so that Trump can smile and say, look what I did. Policy analysis there. 500,000 out of poverty, but axing two-child benefit cap makes more cuts certain. No, it doesn't. It shouldn't have to be like that. Is this variable to look at? Excuse me. After weeks of increasing discontent with his leadership, coupled with his own child poverty passports, it now appears inevitability. Government will have to slam wider welfare reforms cuts backs on the table. What remains is cross-cabinet wrangling on how far going lifting the cap, with options under discussion, including raising the limit to 3 children or targeting only working parents if any welfare boost. The Resolution Foundation estimates that ending the 2-child limit as well for benefits, which varies for individuals depending on their circumstances, will lift 500,000 children out of poverty by the next election at the cost of $4.5 billion. Policy costing around 10,000 for each child lifted out of poverty. This is by far the most effective target route to reduce child poverty, the think tank has said. Yep. Instead, we're reverting to a 3-child limit while also scrapping the overall cap would cost around $3 billion. There would be a lower level of child poverty reduction at 320,000. The black hole potentially as big as $40 billion to fill her budget even before lifting the cap. Wider reforms and big tax rises look even more likely. We know she's going to raise taxes one way or another, but that raising the money for that if it gets children out of poverty is a good thing. It's a good thing. Anything else here? Refugee stripped of right to have wife, husbands, and children join them. Migrants given asylum in the UK will no longer automatically get long-term settlement and family reunion rights under government plans to reduce pull factors for small boat crossings. Changes have been announced by Keir Starmer ahead of his appearance at the European Political Community Summit in Copenhagen on Thursday. They aim at undermining the appeal trying to score the UK illegally. Downing Street said it was unfair that the current system small boat migrants. Yep. This is not good. This is only going to detract less people coming to the UK, guys. It's going to be even less people coming. The iPaper asked Downing Street and Home Office what new stricter criteria would be for family reunions, but did not receive a clarification. Number 10 said it will set out full details in the policy later this autumn. Is it going to be at the budget? Dear oh dear. Not good, guys. I'm not looking forward to it. The only saving thing, Grace, that might come out of the budget, which I'll be happy about, is the 2-child benefit cap, but it just feels like it's taken way too long for it. Financial Times here. Contributions are a condition of staying home in the UK, same as the Home Secretary. We saw that yesterday. Prices in UK shop rising the fastest rate in 18 months. Labour refuses to rule out manifesto tax-breaking rises. UK youth jobs guarantee may reach just 5% of those not training in work. Labour must brace for decisions that are not cost-free or easy, Starmer is to say. Let's have a look at the home page. Russia missile upgrade outpaces Ukraine's Patriot defences. Kiev's interception rates falls as enemy strikes dodges US interceptors in the final seconds. Suspect shot after stabbing in synagogue. We touched on that as well. Denmark loses 1.4 billion in London tax fraud case. Lloyds and Schroders to abandon UK wealth joint ventures. UK businesses job cuts for the 4th consecutive month, Bank of England survey shows. 4th consecutive month business job cuts there. More AI, less workers. Thames Water creditors offer 25% debt wire off for more lenient targets. UK Business Secretary approves 1.5 billion JNR loan despite civil service concerns. I don't like that. Yep, climate change law that Clemmy wants to do, which, you know, hopefully they will become a forgotten party. OpenAI overtakes SpaceX after hitting 5 billion valuation. Tesco chief warns Reeves not enough on business taxes. France detained ship captain after drone incursion near Denmark. Interesting. Interesting stories there. I can't open them from the Financial Times, unfortunately, and I won't be able to open any from this one either, guys. This is from the Times here. Let's see what they're saying here under politics. France security has been cut, says Reform. Britain spends £1 billion to switch off wind farms this year. Why are we switching them off? Is that to make maintenance and essential repairs? I hope that's the reason. Summer promises to end asylum seekers' golden ticket to the UK. We talked about that wronging red stars and stripes proved costly for Trump's UK visit. Reform accused of Trumpian wall of silence towards local press. Yeah, they're silencing local press. They don't want to talk to them. Michelle Masson calls herself the victim after being ordered to pay £122. I'm the victim, says the one who's taken hundreds of millions of pounds of taxpayer money. Reeves deputy leader hopeful fights out for the non-job. Did Farage ever flirt with Hitler Youth? 5 claims checked. Well, if you watched my live stream yesterday, that will give you the answer to that. I'll give you the answer to that. Does Raina actually need a portfolio? She should go out and meet people. So, Raina could do. You know what? Raina could do a lot. Could take a page out of Zach Polanski. His security's been cut. It doesn't look like his security's been cut there from that picture. Adverts overrepresent black people while ignoring over 70s, apparently. UK Home Office orders Apple. This is a story I haven't touched on, guys, because we are coming to the end. The Home Office orders Apple to allow access to UK users' data. So, this story here on the left-hand side, I'm surprised that it hasn't popped up anywhere else. I saw this story yesterday. I never really had a chance to talk about it. But, so, this was even after the US basically said to the UK government, fuck off and leave Apple alone, stop asking for their data. But now that the America's gone back home, the Home Office are still basically antagonising Apple to allow access to UK US data. I don't know why the Home Office is so keen to get access to Apple's encryption, but like respectfully, like fuck off. Like you don't need to see that data. You just don't. Like it's just going to allow you to spy on people. They don't need to see it. Really, really just pisses me off that that they're still pursuing that. Really, really does. Let's have a quick look at the Tory graph before we head out. Just got about a few minutes left. Baganoff fails to scrap failed climate change law. 2-child benefit cap has been devastating, says Bridget Phillipson. So why didn't you say anything before? Answers on a postcard, please. Farage security cuts. The Chinese super dinghy smuggling more migrants into Britain than ever before. The Chinese super dinghies? What the hell? What do you mean by Chinese super dinghies? They're trying to pin this on China for somehow. Prince Harry, of course, because they've got to say something about Prince Harry. Jane Goodall dies at age 91. No! Aww. Rest in peace, Jane. Rest in peace. 91 years old. That's a good life. Very, very, very sad about that. Why is it taking me to the Telegraph to learn of this story? Why is it taking me to the Telegraph to learn of that story? Israel detains Greta Thunberg. Yep, we know about that. Russia trains soldiers to fight on horseback. Yep, because they can't afford tanks. LOL. I don't know that for sure. Former public schoolboy faces death penalty. Yeah, we saw that. And that appears to be all from the Telegraph. Got about a minute left, so we'll have a quick look at what Byline Times is saying on their papers. So they've got here over 1,500 pledged to risk arrest the largest ever protest against Palestine action ban. How many more people? How many more people need to be arrested before the government realises we fucked up here? Another 1,500 people to arrest. Where are you going to put them all? You just can't. You can't handle them all. Tommy Robinson's United Kingdom rally was sponsored by a convicted fraudster allegedly behind cryptocurrency rug pulls. What surprise! Keir Starmer's Farage-dominated conference takes Labour up a darker path towards a reformed government. Sharmi says we need a popular front board enough to go from the left to Liberal Conservatives. The attack lines that could hurt Nigel Farage hardest. I did a video on that yesterday. I'm not doing big videos anymore. Just going to stick to short videos because they're not getting any traction, I'm afraid, which is a shame. That's about it here. Some of these stories are old ones which we've seen already here from Barlow and Times. So a lot of interesting stories there in the papers, guys. Jenga will prove that we humans aren't the only species to war against their own kind. She was central to our understanding of human and animal relationships, indeed. Yeah, I'm surprised that David Attenborough's outlived her. You know, David Attenborough's, I don't know how long he's got, but yeah, you know, if he doesn't, if there is one person that deserves a state funeral, it's that man in the UK. I have no problem with taxpayer money going towards David Attenborough and a state funeral for that man for what he has done, contributed to teaching us all about nature. Whether or not David Attenborough makes it to the end of the year, I don't know, but God bless that man, David Attenborough, and rest in peace, Jane, indeed. So guys, it is the end of the live stream here. I want to say thank you guys all for coming along. Thank you guys for all your comments. Greatly appreciate. I'll be back tonight at 8 p.m. myself and Witchy Goth. So I'm really excited for that. So do join us for that. I have a lot of things to do between now and then, as well as having lunch. So I'm going to be sorting myself out having lunch there. But yeah, take care whatever you guys are doing for the rest of your day. At 4 o'clock today, the two Davies will be doing their show. So if you've got nothing else planned at around 4 o'clock, do join them for there. They'd be greatly appreciated by them. But if you can for me on your way out, just want to say thank you to those who gave super chats today, and thank you Alison Keir for gifting the memberships. Thank you guys for your support. I really appreciate it. It does keep me going. It keeps this channel going. So it really does make a difference, yeah, when you guys do that. And obviously I know not everyone can financially support, so because everyone's situations is different, so don't feel begrudged in any way if you can't support like that. One of the best ways you can support me in a non-financial manner, as I say on my way out, hit the like button, share this across social media, leave comments down below on my videos. You can always leave comments down below on my videos. All that kind of stuff boosts the algorithm for my channel. So those are the best ways you can do so. Whenever I do posts on polls or anything like that, leaving comments, all that kind of stuff helps boost the algorithm, boosts the channel. Gets more subscribers, gets more views. So if that's the best way you can support me, guys. But thank you all so much for watching. Do check out Rumble and Patreon as well. There's exclusive content on those platforms. And I hope to catch you all very, very soon.